Welcome to the After Spin, opinions from thought leaders in our state. I want to ask John Hood and Rob Schofield, while most of the focus has been on the COVID-19 pandemic, there's still some news developing worth following. What's the latest on the Silent Sam situation, by the way? Has anything further been resolved after that Superior Court judge threw out the settlement? John Hood?
No. And
this may be the shortest After Spin we ever did.
Well, I mean, this is like a lot of things. This is like the Leandro litigation, and the court order has been delayed. I think it'll be delayed again. I think a lot of issues that either involve legal action or involve getting politicians to get together to talk about something, they're going to be deferred. There aren't going to be final conclusions to anything until we get through the immediate crisis.
I think that's right. I do think it's increasingly clear that statue's not coming back. The university's trying to get its money back from the Sons of Confederate Veterans. Our reporter, Joe Killian's, reported that the head of the commander of the Sons of Confederate Veterans, a guy named Stone, has been increasingly getting...
Wait a minute, Silence, okay, Stone.
Yeah, the guy who runs this Sons of Confederate Veterans is getting flack from his own group about having crowed about the deal and maybe given fuel to the other side for the litigation. John's right, nothing's been decided, but I don't think there's any indication that's going any other way than that the statue is not coming back, and UNC is going to try to get their dough back.
It raises a good point, which is there are issues like elections that are taking place and candidates who are trying to, thank goodness, they don't have a primary to face in May like they would typically have in most years. But there are other issues out there that are bubbling up under the surface that have taken second chair, obviously, to coronavirus, and deservedly so. How long is it going to be before we get back to being able?
Some of those things, like, for example, we had a second primary, and it was originally scheduled earlier and it's been deferred, and it's not just in the 11th Congressional District, though that's the key one that people are following. So a lot of these issues are going to wait, sort of, but some of them have to be addressed immediately because you start to hit deadlines, you start to hit dates. This is why I was pleased that we've talked about how the governor, the legislative leaders, other leaders, some initial rockiness, but I think they're working together pretty well right now. And part of what's happening is they're subdividing and creating within for example, in the House, they have a committee addressing COVID-related matters, but they've created these different groups. You can do different things at the same time if you break the work in to pieces and have different groups focus on different pieces of the problem.
As Charles Shackelford once said blithely, we're amphibious. We can work on many things at the same time.
Well, we need to be very amphibious going forward because this is just an unprecedented crisis, obviously. And so, yes, these other issues will percolate up and periodically, but I think for the time being, and that's not just a few weeks, it's several months. This thing is going to be front and center. It's unfortunate, it's painful, it's excruciating to go through. A lot of us are mourning the loss of our normal lives. We're going to have to suck it up.
Well, our lives are on pause.
Well, as Churchill said, when you're going through hell, keep going.
He said a lot of things. Particularly remember him saying that Americans will always be counted on to do the right thing after they've tried everything else.
Exactly.
Well, thank you for watching the After Spin. We'll have more video all during the week on ncspin.com.